is Frank with his farm. His climate and production system is computer-controlled, but just a bit outdated. I seem to do nothing else but run around the buildings configuring different settings, Frank thinks. Each device has its own controller and can only be operated via its own buttons and switches. On top of this, to check feed levels, Frank has to go outside to the silos. He has to take note of the current levels and remember to order new feed when he returns to the office. If he wants to change the temperature in the barn, he can only do this directly at the controller. All in all, a fair load of work. It would be so much easier if all my devices were interconnected and I could manage my entire farm with a single central software, Frank thinks. Frank could then check silo levels automatically, enter new feeding times directly at the PC, and even change the barn temperature conveniently from home. Whenever Frank is out and about, his smartphone would immediately show an alarm in house 2, for instance, so he could react at once and configure the most important settings directly on the phone. Good news, Frank. Your wish is already a reality. Big FarmNet puts an end to isolated solutions and unites all applications on a farm into one software program and one database. This makes farm management easier, faster and safer and increases farm profitability sustainably. With Big FarmNet, Frank can manage his barn from any PC and the respective controllers, with his smartphone or on his tablet. And he always sees the same intuitive user interface directly in the barn, in the office, or even from his own couch for maximum comfort. Of course, Big FarmNet also works with several users who can be active at the same time. For example, Frank can optimize feed formulas from the office while his trainee is in the barn entering piglet numbers. Finally, one software program unites all applications: dry, liquid and ESF systems, sorting scales, feeding of suckling pigs, climate controls, silo and alarm management. For a good overview, Big FarmNet displays the farm as it is in real life, with its actual buildings, sections, pens and all, instead of an abstract valve structure that is often very difficult to understand. Everything is easy for Frank now. He only needs to enter feed curves once, and when he moves animals, all recorded data remain available. And there are many more advantages. For instance, because all hardware is connected and all data are merged into the Big FarmNet software, Frank immediately knows which feed formula will yield better results, whether there are signs of disease outbreak, and which climate settings have a positive effect on animal behavior. He can react quickly and avoid errors, and he saves lots of time along the way. Comprehensive evaluations and information on batches, feed deliveries, vaccinations and treatments increase Frank's feeling of security. Frank can export data or print important documents whenever he needs the respective information. Just what I want, Frank thinks. But is it safe? What happens if the network connection is interrupted, for example? Don't worry, Frank. The only thing that will happen is nothing. All controllers, computers and smartphones in the Big FarmNet continue working without errors, even when not connected to the network. And they synchronize automatically as soon as the network is reconnected. This is especially helpful when entering daily data such as feed adjustments, the number of weaned piglets, or animal movements into the smartphone and directly in the barn. Workers are rarely online while in the barn, but data entered offline are automatically synchronized. It's as easy as it sounds. Okay, but I also don't want everyone on my farm to be able to configure important settings and make inputs. Well, of course there is a function to prevent this. In no time at all, each user can be assigned individual rights. Annette, for example, can scan ear tags and check feed intake, but her limited user rights do not allow her to deactivate alarm units or change feed rations.